Yo guys, Leggy here and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be doing the next episode of the Daily Dividends Pie. So as always, you need £400 £400 in order to get daily dividends throughout the year. That is a basic requirement of the pie. There's 50 companies within the pie, and also it's got an annualized return at the time of recording of roughly 7.9/8%. This assumes that people actually reinvest all dividends into the pie. So full credit to the dividend experiment as always, but let's get into what we're on. So basically, as you guys know, I mentioned it in the last video, but there has been some major tax changes for the UK. So basically, capital gains tax is going to be halving next year to roughly £6,000, and then the year after it's going to be halving again to £3,000. So I've done a few changes and put some money into an ISA instead. I'll explain about that in a minute. But also, what does these tax changes mean for dividends? Well, dividend tax is actually following a similar structure where it's going to half and half again. This means that in 2 years' time, you can only get £500 in dividends, which means that if I was going to add to this pie, we're nowhere near that threshold right now, but if I was to carry on adding like I was planning to, that could have been a problem. So that is why I've done this. It might make the series confusing for the next couple episodes, so I do apologise for that. But long term, it makes sense. But as I said, sorry for messing it up for the moment. So what are we on at the moment? So our pie is on £683.77, down £13.64 from the amount we've invested. And this means that it's 1.96% down. This is actually less than what the S&P 500 is down. I believe our S&P 500 holdings on this account is down about 4%. So really, it's doing okay in that sense. Although it's always not good to not see your investments in the red, isn't it? But I believe that will just turn over. So as I said, this looks really no different to last time. So what have I done? So as you guys can see, our dividends are around £1.24. They're really slowly coming in, but we're starting to get some real good amounts. So as you can see, Prospect Capital, we got 8p. So it's far from the 1p ones we got at the start. We're starting to actually get dividends, proper dividends rolling in, which is good. So what have I done in regards to the ISIS? I've left the other pie as you just saw. This is so I can carry on getting dividends while we spend the month with this one for the dividends start rolling in, and then I'll transfer because I didn't want to stop earning dividends. So we'll have our normal one, which is fine. I might actually just always leave it because it's not like that's ever going to go over the dividend threshold. But for the series, I might end up switching it over eventually. But in regards to the series, in the ISA, we've got this one. So we put another £400 in to hit that minimum threshold. This one's looking slightly better with a 0.91% return up. So as you can see, looking better. But now we just have to wait for this one to hit that 4-week threshold in order for the money to start rolling in. Also in an ISA, I believe that you can actually withhold from the 15% tax that happens to your dividends. So that's another positive of holding it in an ISA if you haven't done it already. So that's a positive. So obviously that means that we've actually hit over the grand mark invested between the two pies. So that is really interesting. That's really good. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for next week's update. Peace.